What's going on? It's VII Turk with another Final Fantasy segment. Sorry, I'm not going to do the whole Shakina Night Vince VII Turk because I'm pushing the second video just like I did with the first. I'm pushing a second video, and we're going to get back to the subject of Final Fantasy's topics right now. I've got my whole, you know what? I've got my whole outrage culture video done. Got it on my system, had my opinions and thoughts on it, and if you want to make a response to it, you can. I'm probably not going to, see it because I'll be busy doing what I need to be doing and being busy with my hustle. So, without further ado, I read a little news article. Final Fantasy VII Remake voice acting is nearly done. Now, we thought the game was done already, but I guess, what could this really mean? I think part 1 was done first because we had voice acting in the second trailer for the Final Fantasy VII Remake for the PlayStation 4. So part 1, so they probably finished all the rest of the parts. So we got voice acting. Now, I don't know what this can actually really tell or what this actually really means per se, but it means maybe they just went back and recast it, re-voice acted, and got everything to be finished. So maybe we already know that Tetsuo Nomura is a perfectionist. We all know this stuff. It's not news. It's been there since Kingdom Hearts 2. It's been like 5 years apart when Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 is 5 years apart. Release date. So we already know it's going to take a long time for Final Fantasy VII Remake under Tetsuo Nomura's direction, because he's more of a creative director than he is an actual director. Now, I love Tetsuo Nomura and his work, but he takes too long. He just takes too long working on anything. That's just his style. That's his preference. I don't, but and you know what? Again, this could be a good thing and bad thing. This could be a bad thing because it costs the money company to keep pushing dates because these games make money on launch, and without a launch for these games, these companies can lose a lot of money because they make a lot of the money back through launches. So this could be a bad or a good thing, to be quite honest. The good thing is it could be complete and everybody loves it. It's everything they remembered from the original game. And yes, it's going to be a lot of pressure for Final Fantasy VII Remake to be made because, you're going to have to please a whole bunch of people. You're going to have to please the old school fans who played the original PlayStation version when it came out at launch. Came out at launch. For the PlayStation 1. And that became older people like me. You're going to have to appease the new fans. You're going to have to appease new gamers or someone who's new to the Final Fantasy franchise. You're going to have to please a lot of people. So I understand the pressure. So what I think this meant is that part 1 was done in 2015. That's why we have that trailer with the English voice actors. So with that entail and that in mind, that means part 1 was already done before, and they could have released it any time they wanted to. But Tetsuo Nomura probably called voice actors and say, "Hey, can you redo this line? Can you redo this line? Can you redo this?" And again, nothing wrong with him. He's a perfectionist. That's how he is. Some people are like that. OCD is actually a real thing. Or you have to have everything absolutely perfect. And understandably, Square Enix is always under the pressure of the hammer because they've done some stupid things before. They've done things that make them comparably to Nintendo and Microsoft. They have done some things in the gaming community that were infamous. And, they have to make up for lost time. And in fact, they're going to have to make up for the Final Fantasy 30th anniversary thing, with the whole Power Rangers X Magitech Exosuit DLC for Final Fantasy 15, the clothing line that we never wanted because you could get clothing line in real stores. In fact, this looks Final Fantasy stuff. See, let me show you. See, you put it on like this, and you put it on this. Wait, hold up. You got yourself a modern day Black Mage character. But I'm just saying that the Final Fantasy closes this. You don't need a really clothing line for that stuff. But and you know, and the $1,000 wine. Who's gonna pay $1,000 for a bottle of wine? I mean, even people who drink a lot of alcohol, just because you have Final Fantasy on a wine, no one's gonna really take it seriously. It's not like it's not like if, let's say, Jay-Z sold a wine. Yeah, that, of course people would pay $1,000. I think it's stupid because why would you pay $1,000 on one bottle of wine? If I was gonna pay $1,000 on a bottle of wine, I would actually buy large quantities of wine I can get drunk off. But you know, I don't drink anymore, so we're gonna leave that right there. I'm not gonna drink. I don't drink anymore, so you know, I'm all about going to the gym and stuff. I haven't been going to the gym lately because I've been sick, understandably. But nonetheless, I'm about the health lifestyle. But back to the subject. You know, they're gonna have to make up. They're gonna have to make up for all that stuff. Like they're gonna have to make up for the $1,000 wine nobody wants, the clothing line nobody wants, the Magitex Power Ranger suits for Final Fantasy 15 that nobody wants. So I understand they're taking a long time, and they're calling voice actors and saying, "Can you check? I don't like this line before. Can you go back and say this line?" I mean, now let's talk about the voice acting. Let's talk about voice actors for a second. It looks like we're getting the Advent Children voice actors, and that's good. We're getting Barrett from Advent Children. We're getting Steve Burton as Cloud again. So we're probably going to get George Newberg as Sephiroth, which is going to be good. And I hopefully for Vincent Valentine, please make Vincent Valentine Steve Blum. Steve Blum is the definitive Vincent Valentine. He is Vincent Valentine. You cannot change Vincent Valentine's voice. Steve Blum is the perfect Vincent Valentine. You know. So I'm really hoping that they got Steve Blum for Vincent Valentine. And they got, let's see, Christy Romero. If you don't know who Christy Romero is, she's the girl who acted in the Disney show Even Steven. She also plays Yuffie as well. So you got to get Christy Romero. Yuffie may not be like my top favorite tier character, but you got to get Christy Romero as Yuffie. And you have to get Rachel Lee Cook as Tifa. You know, so, you know, that's all. That's my whole thing. Keep the voice actors Advent Children. Yeah, you have to put new voice actors for Heidegger, Scarlet, you know, maybe not for Reeve and Hojo because they've already had voice actors in Dirge Cerberus, but, you know, President Shinra. But, you know, hopefully, like I said, they keep those as the traditional voice actors for the Final Fantasy VII Remake, because that will make a difference. Trust me, that will make a difference. Square Enix, you could save yourself. You could save yourself and become the biggest gaming corporation of the world if you keep the Advent Children voice actors as the Final Fantasy VII Remake, while adding new ones to fill roles that weren't in the, you know, Advent Children movie, you know, because obviously not every character in Final Fantasy VII was in Advent Children, because I should know. I know Final Fantasy VII. If out of the Final Fantasy series, 7 is my expertise. I know 7. You can come to me for any questions on Final Fantasy 7. You know, I know 7. A whole bunch. In fact, most of my background is 7. You know, I got one Final Fantasy 15, which was a bootleg pillow, I found out. That character on that is actually from Valkyrie Profile, which I got mad, but I'm not taking it back because it's a good bootleg. It's a pretty decent looking bootleg. But, you know, which, by the way, say no to bootlegs. No bootlegs. But the Vincent Valentine, Dirge Service pillow, the Cloud and Vincent plushies, Final Fantasy VII is my go-to. I even have more Final Fantasy VII videos than I do of 15. But nonetheless, it could be pushed. Most likely, the Final Fantasy VII Remake could be pushed back a little bit. You know, it could be pushed back just a little bit. So, again, if it is, I wouldn't get mad about it. I wouldn't get too mad. This is how Tesla Norma does things. And maybe that's a good thing because, let's put it this way, Final Fantasy 15 was a rushed product, and and people didn't like that. You know, with the shitty Chapter 13, no backstories explained, and understandably, Tabata was forced to make it rated T, which he really didn't want to. and so many other changes, and they tease stuff way too early. This might be a good thing that Tetsuya Norma might actually push it back at this point. This might actually be an asset to what's good. So I'm running a little bit over time. May the crystal be with you, and I'm up for pushing Final Fantasy VII Remake back just to make it better. What do you think in the comments below?